May 25th, 2020. And in pursuit of the world's most expensive tomato sauce, I present to you the 2020 Mega-Trellis. We have more tomatoes grown or purchased than we know what to do with. And I said, well, what the heck, I'm going for it this year. This is a design for a trellis stolen from Drumlin Farm. They use a nylon twine between their fence posts for the horizontal runners. I didn't have that, used wire instead. And the basic layout here is 8 posts, studded T-posts, studded of course, and 12 iron stakes pounded into the ground with Percy. To get the studded T-posts in the ground, studded, they're 7 feet tall, so I'm working over my head standing there, so I used Eugene to get those driven in. But the soil here in the garden is beautiful. It's been filtered and there's no real stones in it, so they went right in, which is one of the problems with them going in so easy, is that they will blow over if we ever got a real wind, which is why I cross-braced the heck out of them with these 30-inch iron stakes, which I drove in with Percy. So Eugene on the top, Percy on the bottom. And the idea here is basically to tie the tomatoes to these wires and let them run up. Indeterminate, A-T-E at the end, indeterminate tomatoes want to go vertical. They're a vine. And when I was a kid, we had them at one year on Vine Street, interestingly, Vine Street, where they were over 8 feet tall. Planted them against the garage. It was a miracle. So with the abundance of small tomatoes that we have, I decided to put in 2 rows, and you kind of set your trellis to the space that you have. And with the onions coming over that far, I start the stakes from here, and 19 feet 4 inches over there are the other end. So 8 studs, studded T-posts, and 12 stakes. I used a 14 gauge fencing wire, which is of course a massive overkill, because that's probably got 500-600 pounds of force that it can handle, tensile strength. Let's go. But it's also very workable, so you can make wonderful knots or tie off your wire. There you go, a little focus action. Wrap around a couple times and then twist it to hold that end, and then on this end, whoop, we'll give you this version of it. Boop, boop, there you go, focused. I let the main wire kind of rest on top of that stud, and took about a 20-inch piece of wire, wrapped it around a few times, and then twisted it with the linesman's pliers. And that's the basic idea. And as is obvious from the stud on the bottom, we get a wire up, across, and down. And if we ever have like a real storm, this should keep it from blowing away, I expect. And the wire is at a height which will hit me right in the face, but I think the bride can get underneath. So basic idea is wires and crimp it so it won't slide down. Spaced about every 8 inches or so. And so the wire that we used, of course, is what everybody has in their garage, is a 1/2 mile, the 14 gauge fence wire, the good stuff, made in America, and my reel, because you want to kind of pull it out that way, otherwise it gets all tangle-fied as opposed to rolling along the ground in the dirt. So this was my reel, because I think it's actually kind of heavy, and the rocks keep it from moving and tipping over, and a broomstick. So from the tool side, Percy's the 8-pound sledge, and Eugene is the 2-pound sledge. And if you don't know who Percy's sledge and Eugene's sledge are, look it up, because this is America, and you should know that shit. Other tools are just the channel locks, which help with a little bit of the wire bending. The channel lock brand snippers. Let's see, come on, focus. There we go. To channel lock snippers. Those are good. But the one that did 90-some% of the work is this Crowder, K-R-A-E-U-T-E-R lineman's pliers. And for those of you in the family, you will recognize these as being stolen from Nana's tool drawer. And these things are beautiful. 10-inch lineman's pliers. I'm assuming they were filched from General American. We really don't know. Maybe they were legitimate home tool purchase. We can't tell, but still working. And speaking of still working, one last thing for the family. Boop, boop, focus, focus. Let's see if we can get that thing focused right. Come on, baby. Yes, painfully. That's the Nana. Well, here. I'm not going to go redo this whole thing. It's the Nana nozzle, the one she used in her yard for 100 years. So there you go, the Nana nozzle.